Welcome back to Potatoes. Dan Kabidge coming at you again for another episode of Force of Nature. This will be episode 7. In this episode, I intend to bring us up to the next level, which I believe is level 8. Excuse me, level 9. Forgetting where I'm at myself, see that? Because that will, in fact, give us availability for a number of new items, including amulets, several varieties of which I'm not certain what they all do, as well as a new set of armor, I think. Yeah, the bronze armor, as well as the iron axe and iron pick, which I imagine will allow us to harvest quicker. Now, much of this I have already started prepping the components for, of course. I do intend to knock this entire level out this episode. As you may have noticed, most of the episodes have been a bit shorter. This game is really about grinding. It's a very long grind game. Certainly you can see the amount of resources that I've picked up along the way. It really adds up, but it's very time consuming. So the result is a couple days of playtime ends up refining down to a very short video because I do not go over many of the topics. So my apologies for that if I am not specific enough. However, we will speed the pace up a little more to get up to our final level. With all the babbling aside, however, let's get on to our next task, which is, we'll start at the top quest there, to create an apiary. An apiary is a new building that we got with this level. So we'll go to our constructions and see what we need to create it. Needs 30 planks, 20 nails, 1 hive, 30 violets, and 30 hydrangea. Okay, so let's see if I can remember that without looking back. Needed 30, so we needed violets, hydrangea, hives, it was nails and planks, I believe, is the other 2. I know I'm going to forget something. I feel like there were 6 things, and I'm only picking up 5, so... Nails and the planks. Actually, I'll take all the planks that we had made. Actually, a lot of this stuff I know I'm going to be using, so I'll take all this out of here. Okay, back to the menu for build. Oops. Wrong menu. There we go. Okay, instructions, apiary. We have it all. Hey, I got it all. All right. So let's go ahead and place this. See how big it is. Okay, it's a 4x4. Not too sure where I'm going to place this. So I think actually the logical place, why don't I put it up here? It would be kind of up, put it up with the animals, because technically it is a bee. However, of course, this gate here, or this little pen, as you may recall, I created for the goblins that I was catching, but discovered I really haven't been using them. Perhaps I will need to later on when I am attacking more difficult critters, but I think they're more trouble than they're worth. So I'm going to go ahead and collapse this thing. Just pick up the additional components and use them as well. But in doing that, it will give us the additional space here, and I will put the apiaries up here. We can make 2 at the current level, but I'm sure we will be able to make more of those as time progresses. Okay. And pick all this stuff up. And let's see, just put some lights back in the corners here, keep it looking nice and neat and all. Okay. Now, constructions. Actually, I want to be facing this way, so I come into the front of it when I enter. So I'm going to go to constructions. and apiary. Select. Now, the other question, of course, is how far out. See, I put the gate on the other side, so these can be fairly close. So let's see, it's 4, 1, 2. This is 4 wide also, so I think I will put them a few spaces away, but I'll cross it over. Put one there. And then we will also create the second. We only need one for the quest. However, we can build 2 at this level. So I will build both to increase production as much as possible, of course, in the process. Okay, that'll be just a moment, so we'll speed through this and come back when they are done to see how they operate. All right, wake my boys up again. We're now reaching the complete stages on the first one, or actually on the second. The first one just completed. So let's see what we need. For an apiary, we put in, oh no, it just makes it. Oh, okay, it's kind of like a well, apparently. I guess we don't have to feed it like we do the animals or water it like the plants. That's very good, and it creates honey. All right. I know honey is going to be a component for some of the food, so that will be used in our cooking table here later on. All right, well, with step 1 done, let's take a look then at the next quest in the line. The created apiary is of course completed now, and the next one is to create an altar and then craft any amulet. All right, well, let's see what we need for an offer. There we go. Okay, altar, we need stone, got it. Gold ingots, 2, I think I have 1. 5 of any gem, 15 ash, and 5 honey. Well, I'm glad I started with the apiary, because we certainly need that, don't we? I can make the ash. I have enough pelts, or fangs and claws, rather. That's no problem. Gems, I think I have kicking around, and the gold ingots. Pretty sure I have to make at least one of those. So let's take a look. And this one, let's see, I have exactly 1. Okay, create ingots. I know we need coal. And then we need the gold coins from the goblins. I think it's 15, so 11 won't be enough. And then over here to our blast furnace to make a gold ingot. Oh, I guess I need glowing embers also, my bad. Okay. And the gold ingot is off. And we needed 15 ash for it, right? I have some sitting over here, so there's 6. Need to make 9 more. All right. Now we'll take claws because I have a few more of them. So we will craft table. We will recipe. Go down to ash. Select, and we need 9. She'll make 6. Yeah, make 6 out of these guys, and then I'll make 3 more from the fangs. Actually, no, I didn't use as many as I thought. I might have to make them all out of here. All right. So I think I'll fade and finish completing this, but then I'll bring you back when the ash is done. Okay, just bring you back briefly here as I launch the next 3, which will be the final ash that we will need, is that I do not have enough gems. So I will have to go out and hunt for some of those guys. I want to say it was 15, was it? Down at the altar. Where'd it go again? There it is. Actually, it's only 5. That's not bad. I do have 5 gems, but they're various types, so I am going to go hunt that out. also, that's right, we'll check the honey as well at the moment. I am not sure what the capacity for these are. The wells I know are 5, for example, but these may be different. Looks like they're 5 as well, okay? So take these and take the first harvest from that, but now we have the honey that we require. So all we're missing really is the gems. Everything else I've got created. So I will go out and hunt for those, and then when they are obtained, I will bring you back, and we will make our altar and see what we have to get into to start making ourselves some amulets. And here we are back, roughly an hour later of hunting time. Was able to get some amethyst chips, which are from the level 4 and 5 mobs near the second shard. So I now have everything we need to create our altar. Should have moved this over before I started the video, I suppose, but brain wasn't functioning on full throttle, I suppose. Okay. There we go. Now, open up construction menu and down to our altar. And select. Okay, how big is it? Let's see, where are we going to put this guy? Maybe we can put this down here opposite the cooking table. How's that? Kind of line it up. Very good. That should work just fine, I think. See how long that guy takes to craft. While it's doing that, I think I'll drop a couple lights down around it as well. I like my lighting, as you can clearly see. Oops. Okay. And likewise, we will destroy this one, which is no longer needed in that spot. Okay. Taking us up to a quarter of the way. Not quite as much as I had anticipated. I guess it takes a little while for that to create. So with that said, I will simply sit here and wait for this guy to complete crafting to see what we need to make our amulets. Or no, that's next level. Altars are to create gems, that's right. I don't know. I can be taught. I just can't remember. Anyway. And at 100%, here we go. And that should complete the create an altar quest. Except they have to create any amulet. So this is where I get amulets. My mistake. Okay. Very good. So let's see. Altar. Recipes. Let's see what I need to make amulets and what amulets are available. Let's see. Amulet. This gives us 10 armor for deference. Amethyst, iron, and rope. Okay. And then we have comfort, which is a warming. Okay, so that helps us with cold if need be. That's emerald, iron, and rope. Amulet of health, which is a health regeneration. That can be useful, okay. That happens to be ruby. And speed. That's run speed, it looks like, for diamond, okay. Iron and rope, as the others are. And then the last of which is energy, which apparently uses topaz, and that's stamina regeneration. I think probably the ones that I would want to do would be the 2 regenerations, because those take quite a bit. I do spend a lot of time waiting for that to regenerate off camera. I know there are the foods, such as the coffee here, which helps you regenerate it quicker. But I find the trade-off is it takes nearly as long to grow the crops and then craft all that stuff as it does to simply wait for it to regenerate, especially if I'm watching TV or something else in the background. It's not that much of a loss. So I end up waiting. But that's one reason it takes so much time behind the camera to progress where we need to be. Nonetheless, with that said, I know we have ropes and we have iron. And we have the gems we need. So take iron. And rope. Gonna need to make a few more of those. I know I had those for something. I think it was the land plots. That's right. I'm gonna increase my farming as well. There are additional things that were not part of the level up, or not new items, I should say, for the level up, but they were additional allotments for them, so I will grow those as well. Now, here in the chest, I think it was the ruby we wanted for the health regeneration, an amethyst for the stamina, or was it topaz? No, I guess it was topaz, wasn't it? Okay, take them both. See which one I need, because I'm not quite sure. So, for the amulet of health, which is the health regeneration, was ruby. Very good. Select this and begin it crafting. One will be enough. See how long this guy takes to go. I think this is going to be another, fast forward through this as well. Alright, up 100%, here we go. Now we'll simply repeat the process for the Amulet of Energy, which, yes, it was topaz apparently, okay. So regeneration, 25%, let that start, and repeat the fast forward again. Okay, and now it's back to 100%, so we'll take our Amulet of Energy. I'm thinking, too, since amethysts are relatively plentiful at this level, because I did get several of those in the past hours, I'd say, I think I'll make one of these as well. The armor might be useful in some of the tougher fights that will be upcoming. Whereas the stamina regeneration, I would probably swap out for armor in a battle scenario, because most of that is just waiting while I'm harvesting. So we'll let this get up to 100%. Alright, and as you saw, I just moved around a little bit and replaced the components that I used, because I know I had crafted them for something else. Can't remember what offhand, but I had a reason. Probably the land plots. So now that we have our Amulet of Defense, that will just carry with us as a matter of need. We'll clip these up here in the slots, and now we should have some generation. We'll have to wait until I'm harvesting or something to see the difference and experiment, but we'll do that off camera. Alright, that takes care of that. I know the next thing which I had on my list to do was in fact the plots. Deforest the plots that are growing currently, because in the construction menu you now have the capability to grow a 4x4 seed bed. You can actually make 2 of them. So I need, let's see, total of 50 boards and 60 soil. And that I had already created, I do believe. The boards I have over here. And the soil is just up in the dirt spot right up ahead, so I'll pick those up, and then we will place our larger seedbed plots. I believe they grow 4 crops instead of just the one that the current ones we have are, because they are literally twice the size, so that makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, and construction. It is a seedbed 4x4. Select, okay. And as you can see, I already did a little background with the lighting. Put those where I wanted them to be. Okay, and now they're growing relatively quickly. Let's see if I have enough seeds. I'll grow some more wheat. I've been growing the wheat simply because that's a high demand item between the feeding the fowl and the livestock. So I've been growing that quite a bit. Let's see, get some overflow water. And I might as well plan our next round here while I'm waiting for those to finish. They should be done as I say that. They are completing right now, okay? Lots of growing. Again, this is the behind the scenes stuff that's quite a grind in this game, really. Personally, I'm kind of a grinder, so that's okay. That doesn't bother me, but I realize that there are some players that simply don't have the time, as a retiree like myself tends to put in. Okay, looks like it uses, okay, 5 wheat apparently, 5 times. Okay, send that off and we'll see how much that actually grows. Okay, meanwhile, I'll just put the water back. I'm done with it for now. Off, alright, a little fast forward action again. Okay, looks like that's about done. And as usual, just little background stuff, picking up the stuff I had crafted. But it does in fact grow 5. Okay, that's good to know. Apparently they are individual, so it's not a one harvest scenario. Okay. Very good. Good heavens, look at the wheat I just gained. Good lord, look at the wheat it produced. Holy mackerel. That's a lot more. Well, that'll speed up that process quite a bit. I believe I was just complaining about the weight gain in the grind a short while ago, both in recuperating our health and stamina, as well as simply growing the plots to make the foods and such, so that'll be a big benefit. Very good. And on to the next topic. Alright, back a couple minutes later because I realized why I got so much wheat. It's not such an increase in production. It was simply close enough to the piles of wheat I had here on the ground that I picked up all my stockpile as well, inadvertently. So that was kind of a poor test, my mistake. Just wanted to clarify that before we do move on to the next topic, as I had said a few seconds ago. Duh. Anyway, I am back, and I've started to recall what the next topic was, and that is the additional well. Needed nails, stone, and I believe a log. I think that everything else we had already crafted with it. And I had a spot set up here already next to the other well. So we'll go ahead and open our construction menu. Go down to well. And now we have everything we need. I'm not sure. I could actually put it over here. Or here. See, I think I'll put it here for now. We'll keep it in the corner. That way I can reach all 3 of them from the one spot I stand on. That light I tend to stand here. See, and that way I can reach both of these wells. And when this one is complete, then I can hit all 3 of them. That will help quite a bit as well because of the it takes 18 water now for a full crop load, and there are 5 per well. So actually, I'll need to get an additional water from each of the wells to break even with the addition of the larger seed beds. Alright, we'll let this finish up. And there we go. Actually not sure why I was just standing here waiting, because we already know what the wells do, don't we? They simply create water for us, which is quite useful. But the next thing that I was going to do is craft the next dugout. Don't have really a need for this that I'm aware of, but they allow us to build it, so I'm going to. It's really that simple. There's got to be use for it. I did the same thing with the original, the smaller thatched huts, we call these, whatever. In that I had made it simply because they allowed us to, but there really had no apparent need at the time. But then later on, as you may recall, I had to put the second crafting table in there, the loom, Alright. Was I missing clay and something, I think? Clay and palm, that's right. That's why I came down here to get the palm. The clay will take a moment or two to create, or to dig up. Not sure if I'll fast forward us through this or just edit it out. We'll see how long the final verdict is, but off we go digging. Okay, and there is 50 clay. Incidentally, I'd noticed a big difference even just using the amulets. So I used to be able to harvest about 40 or 45 until I ran out of stamina. I just harvested 50, and as you can see, I was only down about 2/3, so clearly quite beneficial. With that said, however, I know we now have a space for the dugout, or we have the resources rather. I'm going to destroy these lamps, put it next to the other dugout that we have, for no particular reason other than it's a space. Just picking the lamps up that I had sitting on the sand there, which is kind of my harvest spot for sand, just to note it out. So I didn't place other things there, so I didn't pick them up as I did with the wheat earlier. I'll have to move some of the resources around off camera, so I'm not interfering with my production. But right, construction and dugout. I'm going to face this way, so the door is facing forward this time. You can face the beach, so to speak. And down it goes. And I will put lights out in the corners of it again. Lost the lights in the center. There may be a dark spot. I'm not sure if I have to re-support that or put one in here, but for now we'll live with it as is and see how much light we actually do have. There we go. Now completed. Hooray, I suppose. Now I know there are a few other things in the construction menu that we can still make. Additional blast furnace, coal smokers, anvils, and such. I don't see the need for that unless I created a second base, which the same could be said, I suppose, for the housing. We know soon we'll have the larger hovel as well, which actually we do now. That I was going to put on the other side. Perhaps we can move our bed, just turn these into more storage or something. Even more logs, planks, nails, clay, and glue. I wonder if I had created the glue already. I don't believe I had, because that's something that may be new on this other menu. I think that's going to be a little prep time. So additional ash, because I obtained some more from when I was hunting the amethyst. Let's see, glue. There we go. Glue, we need clay, flour, and honey. Okay. So, sounds like I need to do a bunch more clay. I've already made a bunch of flour, I'm pretty sure. Usually have food prep down here. Yeah, here's some flour. Okay. And we'll dig up a bunch more clay. We'll bother speeding this time, so we don't need as many. I think we need 12. Get an idea of how quickly this goes. Really isn't that bad as far as time is concerned, so long as you don't run out of the stamina, because that really can be the hold up in most of your harvesting, actually. Let's see, how many did we get? 13. I think I needed 12, so that's perfect. Okay. So for the glue, we needed, what, 5, was it? So I couldn't have needed 12. I needed that for something else. Oh, yeah, okay. So 1, okay. So we'll make 5 of these. Guess I needed 15, because I'm pretty sure I needed 10. 10 for the hovel, was it? That is the next thing I will be placing as far as the building is concerned. Actually, let's just put 2 of these down. That's quite a bit. Bunch more nails. Not sure. Alright. Well, that being the case, I'm going to fade us here, and I'll get those resources in prep, because that will take a little bit of time in crafting the nails and the like. That certainly will. I'll probably put the 2 hovels over here next to each other, off to this side. For no apparent reason other than because. Alright. Well, I'll see you back in a little while, which, again, is seconds for you. Well, I've begun the resources for the 2 hovels. Right now the holdup is coal, but while that's going, I recalled 2 more of the things that we were going to craft that came with this level. That is specifically the iron axe and the iron pick. You can also do the bronze helmet and boots. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do that or not, because they do hurt the movement speed, though they do help the armor. So we have those as an option later on if need be. You see the boots are an armor of 10, whereas the ones I'm wearing are only 4. But they don't have the warmth, which in the climate I'm in right now, we need the warmth more. So I'll continue using the ones that I have for the fur. But with that said, we will begin the iron axe now to upgrade our harvesting equipment. 1 of those, and off it goes. Alrighty then. Now that's complete. Take that, and the other of which, of course, was the iron pick. So we'll start that guy off. And it's off. Alright, that's finishing up now. So pick it up. Let's take a look and see what the differences between the 2 varieties are. Let's see. So the stone axe, which is the one we've been using along, is a damage of 10 and attack speed of 0.59. The iron axe is a damage of 25, also attack speed. So that's basically 2.5 times more effective. And looks like the stat differences for the iron pick and axe are the same difference. So that'll be wonderful. That may help with the stamina as well. Again, as I was complaining earlier, all this stuff, yeah, I said it just too soon. Be careful what you ask for you shall receive it. You know how that goes. But, all right, we'll take those with us next time we go out. At this point now, we'll return back to the fade scenario, waiting to get the resources for the hovel. And here we are back in the evening in the game. Probably should have waited for the daylight, but so be it. I have all the resources assembled for 2 of the hovels, so I will proceed to build 2 of those over to the side. The other thing that I have not done as yet since we leveled up was to look at the new foods. I've actually done so off camera here. I'm collecting the resources there, the last of which is the honey. But we will now be able to make chocolates and apple pies, which will be upgrades for the coffee and the cooked meat, or fried meat, excuse me, basic health. The strawberry dessert, there really isn't a direct upgrade to quite yet, primarily because that is so quick in reaction, because the others take more time, but we'll get into that shortly after we place the 2 hovels down. I think I'll place them over here off to the other side of town from the portal. Go ahead and open the construction window and select the hovels. We can craft 2 of them at this level, as it tells us right here. It takes 3 minutes to create, so what I will do is place them down. Let's see. I want to rotate. I think I'll rotate one so the door is facing town, much as I did on the other side, is probably the way to go. Even though apparently the roofs are lined up with the doors as well, so they do rotate. But that's not unlike real world, because how often do you see numerous houses absolutely identical? I mean, it does occur, of course, but it's not necessarily a regular basis thing. We'll drop it down there. And the other one I will put over on this side. Should have paid closer attention. I'm not sure if they're square. We'll see that right now, I suppose. The other guy. Let's see, are they lined up? Yeah, they are perfectly square. Very well. Okay. So we'll let those go until they grow up. Very good. The first one's done. It occurred to me I should have started this sooner, had it done already, but placed my lamps around the corners as I had done in the other housing. Actually, most of the items I have here in town. We'll step inside and see how much more floor space. It's really the biggest benefit where we're located, though I will note that they have substantially more health than the other buildings. The Hut of Branches here has, what, 150 strength. And then the next up, of course, was a Dugout. That guy has 300. But now here, with the Hovel, we're up to 400. So it is a bit stronger. I imagine these would be useful further out in the field. If you're creating housing along the way to use as anchor points. But currently the way the game works, I don't see much of a reason for that, to be honest. Okay, probably shouldn't have put these next to each other because it looks like they actually have windows on them. Open the windows and that way we can pass stuff to the neighbor. I'm not sure exactly what the benefit of the windows are, other than, hey, we can open the shutters. But they do have them. You can probably see inside a little bit, I suppose, if there's a workbench or a bed there. The next level we'll be able to craft our next bed, so we'll get into that for the next round, of course. But that won't be until at least next episode. So I'm looking good to finish up to level 9, I think, with this episode. That's planned. I will continue to drive that. And let's see, are we done with... Okay, I need to wait on a little more honey, and then we'll get to cooking. Very good, we are back, and we now have the additional honey we needed. Probably shouldn't have put it in here. Again, thinking ahead, not thinking ahead, right? This should be enough to make 20 of the chocolates. As I looked at the resources required earlier. We have the chocolates here. 5 coffee, 1 butter, and 3 sugar or honey. We don't have the sugar as yet available to us. It is a recipe, however, I have not found bamboo or cane yet. I imagine that will be in the next region as we work towards the next shard, so we'll see if we get that by the time we arrive there. Regardless, for now we can still make some chocolates, so I will make 20 of these guys. And see how quickly those go. Okay, those go for a little bit, so we'll just let those crank out. And I'll be back with you in a moment. Well, here we are. It's just about completed. So I'll fade us back in here. I think I will most likely have edited this section out, as this took something over 10 minutes to craft these guys by the time it was complete. So you'd be just sitting here watching numbers go up. But we may do the same thing for the apple pies, which are, of course, the second of the 2 recipes that we can make now. That is relatively new to us. So I will make 20 of these guys as well. And off it goes. And we'll fade out and back in once again. when this is done, and then we'll do a straight comparison side by side of the two, uh, along with their prospective downgrades or previous similar, whatever I'm saying. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you in a few moments. And now we're back 20 minutes later as it's just finishing up. As you can see in the inventory, actually I did a little bit of farming and such while I was waiting as well. Always busy work to be done around town, so to speak. So you can take a look already though as it's finishing the last one. The difference is from the coffee, which is what I had been using, which was 40 stamina in 15 seconds. Now the upgrade is the chocolate, which is what we had just previously made. That is 70 stamina in 15 seconds with a little benefit of 20 health over the next 20 seconds as well. So that will get used in place of the coffee eventually. For now, I'm just going to stockpile it, as I haven't been having a difficult time keeping up with the coffee thus far. Since I still have some left, I'll use the rest of that, but I will not be creating any more. Likewise, it'll be the same for the apple pies. I think I'll finish up the fried meat, which is 25 health in 25 seconds, is the fried meat, and then upgraded, that becomes 80 health in 25 seconds. So that's more than 3 times the heal for the apple pies. So that will be quite beneficial just for straight healing after fights, when I don't need to use the strawberry desserts as the panic button push, as it were. So with that said, I believe that is all that we have to do in town. We've done all the upgrades and such for this level that we had obtained upon reaching the level at the last episode. Now the next step will be to go out and start hacking our way to the third portal, as this will be the third Force of Nature shard, sorry. But that, again, will be several hops away. It's looking like we got 1 here, probably 2 about here, 3 around here, and then here's 4. So got 3 or 4 that we're going to have to make. And I've already pre-prepped the ash and stone and such, so we can just drop back and pick up the resources as we go. So the next time you hear my voice, we will be at the location for the first shard, and then we'll just hop along up towards the final Force of Nature, so we can end this level and get to level 9. Well, here I am a couple hours later. I'm going to bash our way up, as you can see, through the trail here to get to our first portal spot. Cleared out a bunch of the beasties and little harvesting and such on the way, as I always do. But I am now going to place the additional portal. This will be the next, or actually the first in this string, I should say, but the next one down the chain. So we'll go into construction. Where is it? Here it is, portal. And where can I stick it? Okay, this looks like a good spot as any. There we go. And that, of course, takes a moment or so just to come up. We'll do the light gig, as I always do, as you know, I think. My little arrow, which is obvious now with the compass, of course, but later on, once the next shard is at a different location, the arrow moves, so this will be helpful if I do return to do some hunting or chip acquirement, things of that nature. Okay, last we'll do is just name it. Don't really have any super clever names, so I'll just go with a simple series. Between portals, it's between portals 2 and 3. And this is going to be the first portal, so it'll be A. B23, B and B23C, etc. So we'll stick with that, I guess. It's just a standard naming convention. So, that's about it for the moment. I will continue to work my way up and get closer to the next shard. Well, I mentioned earlier, as I was chattering about sugar and such, that we were missing bamboo. I have found it. You can see it dropped from 1 to 2 or 3 at a time. Most of these are 2s. There are a few 3s here and there. That's what it looks like. You have noted that it is in a warmer climate. It is starting to warm up here a little bit on the edge of where I'm at here. If I go a little further north in this other color green where I'm heading, the fur armor is too warm. Yeah, I'm starting to lose health and such, or stamina. So I will have to change my armor shortly as we're continuing to head north. May bring you back in as I do that. Once we decide, I find out which ones I actually will need. When I know what the actual temperature is, I'll know what my target numbers will be. Oh, here we are again. As you see, I've been chopping away at the bamboo, but I also found sugarcane, which was the other of the two things that will allow us to get sugar. As you can see, however, the screen is turning kind of funny colors because this is a very hot temperature, but you'll notice there is cane dropping down here. Again, it's kind of the same area, but I'm on the verge of that warm weather. You'll notice, if you take a look, that you see my stamina is dropping just standing here idly, gradually, because the temperature is up to, what, 33.37, and our range with this current armor is 30. Which, I mean, you know, it's easy to get around, just take a piece off. And my protection, actually, no, it doesn't either. Okay, scratch that. I guess I need to use that, with the sanguine, I think they call it. The stuff that helps you to cool it on the other end. But at any rate, at least I know where the resources are, so we can acquire those as needed. Well, here we are back at camp. As indeed, did hit the hot temperatures, I don't know, maybe 100 meters or so north by scale, up the path that I was heading. Go up the map here, you can see right about here. Beyond that, I can't get without losing all my stamina, so it is time for the Badoon armor. I called it sanguine earlier, that was my mistake. But the temperature that I was holding at was at a berry. Actually, there were some new beasties around as well, so a gorilla I saw, for one. But that temperature was about 36 change. So these are 4, 3, which is 7, and then 3 for the hat. So I might be able to get away with a 7. I think I'll make all 3 pieces, even though the hat requires a bit more resources. So I will do a little back burn just to craft up the resources. But I think the other thing I will do, because we do have the bronze armor, I'll make the other pieces, because that is much better armor, since the Badoon has no armor at all. It is just warming, or cooling actually, I guess in this case. So I will, those 3 pieces I will create, and then the other, let's see, the hands and feet, it looks like, I will make the bronze, which actually I think was over here at the crafting table instead of the armor bench, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. No, maybe not. Or is that... I'm going to take a look at the encyclopedia for level 8 and 9. Okay, we get iron armor. Level 9. Well, how come I don't see the... I'll have to figure that out. It's on one of these benches around somewhere. Oh, maybe it was a forge. You know, I saw it on a different place. I was surprised not to see it on the armor bench. Here it is, bronze boots and bronze helmet is on the forge. So I need to make some bronze ingots and some burlap and stuff like that. So that's a little while of crafting. I'll do all the backburn, then just craft the armor with you folks online. But I'll see you then. Well then, here it is a couple hours later actually. Took a while, quite a while to get the resources cooked. Still actually waiting on some of the coal. But I have everything else so I can at least make the Dune armor. So we'll crank those up. I've got all the components already in my inventory. Make one of each of these guys. And as before, we will fast forward through this part. And there's the completion of the legs. And the chest is, of course, the next piece. So we'll start that up. Alright, and there's that piece done. And the final piece from the tailor table is the hat, which oddly uses gold and copper. I guess maybe that's for the metal. I don't know, must be like a crown or something. But whatever. Launch this guy off, and off this one goes. There we go, and there's the last of the 3 Dune pieces. So now I will be able to tolerate the warmer climate. I will, of course, get the tar beaten out of me by the slightly higher level monsters. I think they're now going to be level 6 and 7 from the last few I was fighting. So I will definitely need to up my armor, which is why I will do the other 2 as the bronze, as I had said. So, need, looks like another 10 more. I need 90, yeah, so 10 more coal. I'll make the bronze up and then come back to craft that on the anvil, and then we will compare the differences in the stats. Well then, finally got the rest of the components, specifically the bronze ingots, created. So now I will make the 2 armor pieces, the boots and the helmet. Oh, wait a minute, helmet. Ah! See, I goofed there. I thought it was gloves. Well then. Okay. Nonetheless, I'm still going to make the boots. I guess we will use a different pair of gloves in that case. Probably the leather, because they do have a slightly better armor class. So I have a few spare bronze ingots for something else that I don't particularly need that I'm aware of. Yeah, say la vie. Very good, and the boots are now done. I'll actually pick them up, not realizing the video had finished. I ran out of space on the drive. Jeez. Any rate, I will create the helmet anyway, since I have already created the components for it, so I might as well make them. While that's cooking, I'm pretty sure I already have a set of the leather gloves made. Let me just double check that. Be in the small chest here. Let's see. Leather pants, leather boots, leather gloves, armor 6. Okay. I think those are the best gloves that I can make for armor, though I should check. Actually, yeah, how were the fur ones? For gloves, yeah, they're only half the armor, so I probably will use just the leather. Alright. Meanwhile, I'll get back over to the anvil. That's probably just about done by now. Or not. Very good. And there's the last piece. So, let's take a look now at our inventory and character screen and change our armor around. To start, we're looking at, let's see, 35.4 armor and comfortable temperature of 1 to 30 C. Should be in Fahrenheit, I maintain. My brain doesn't work in Celsius. But if we put on the 3 Dune pieces, the chest, the legs, and then the hat, this brings us up to 37 or 40, yeah, for the temperature. So it's possible I may be able to get away using the the bronze helmet as well, but I can't be terribly sure. Let's see where the gloves go. Oh, it's the boots I'm missing, isn't it? All right. So armor's actually dropped a bit to 31, so that was to be expected, but we are up to 40C. So we'll just hope they don't hit too much, but a little inventory cleanup. I'll run up there and see how we do. I may bring you in briefly just to see some of the new beasts that I'll be fighting through as I continue the chain up to the next shard. Well, I worked my way back up after the armor is complete. It is actually the next day, real world time. But armor that I had selected seems to be working just fine out here. Have killed a few things as we've worked a little further up the map. When we started, we were down in here last time. Actually, it was down here when we started, but this is Portal 1. The Portal 2 a little further up. Cleared an area out that had quite a bit of the sugarcane. I've seen a lot of that. And the other resource that I've seen that I have not mentioned as yet that is new in this area happens to be green roses. I think it was blue roses last time. Left one of these here just to say, but that's what they look like, kind of a little short plant that blends right in if you're not hitting the space bar to take a look for things. Nonetheless, let's go forward here. It's only really one spot that the portal will fit. We're here to place our second portal. We're a little over halfway there, maybe closer to 2/3, hard to say. Let's see, what am I doing? Construction, portal, select. There's one little square here that fits. I suspect that's a matter of hill, or I know it doesn't work in the water and such, but that will be fine. And let's finish this coming up. There we go. I will rename this guy. This is going to be 23B. I did take the B away from the first of it because it didn't make much sense. The B was for between, as you may recall, but that just didn't look right in my numerical mind. All right. The other thing I just want to comment on too is now we have the portal here. I was having to switch armor because the warm weather armor that I'm wearing now was not enough for cold weather. So I have to bring 2 sets of armor with me, basically. When I'm leaving the base, I was using cold armor, and then once I crossed over the border, the map border that is, or region border, I had to change my armor. So now what I will do is I can port in directly from the base to this portal without changing armor, which will be beneficial. You notice the base is actually at 25 degrees Celsius, and in my current armor, I'm comfortable between 20 and 37, so that's still within that window. Nonetheless, we'll work our way up to the next point of interest, which actually will be the final one. We'll make one more portal up here, and then we'll be close enough to the shard that we should be able to battle up, clear away for that, to finish up our level. Oh, here we are, only about 20 meters north of the portal, actually, but there's one of the gorillas I had mentioned wandering around. We'll break through this cane and go fight him. With a little luck, he will look as ridiculous as the last one did once I kill him. There we go. Oh, 2 gorillas. Have to eat some food. Let's see. 6. He's a happy corpse, isn't he? I just think the face on those looks so silly. I have to laugh at that. But there's the other new critter that I've seen in this region, at any rate. So, onward and forward ho. Well, here we are. We're just about at the portal, or at the shard, rather. About to place the final of the portals that I will do before we go in and attack the BCs at the end. So we'll go ahead and Already emptied my inventory and picked that up. Picked up the components for it, that is. Let's see where we can fit this. Maybe hill. It's got to be in a flat area, of course. Can be somewhat obnoxious at times. Don't want to get too close because I know there will be monsters spawning there all the time in the future, of course. So stick it off to the side, maybe. There we go. That works. So that will be our new portal. Which when it's up, we'll name. Actually, we'll name it Shard 3 because this is actually the third shard that we are now working towards. Name it Shard 3. Oops. Keeps coming up. Forget they already pre-named them with other stuff. Shard 3. Okay. So now we're anchored here. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into approaching them and attacking. See how close I can get. May need to single this out. We'll give it a shot. If I can do it quickly, I'll keep you with me. But if I get whacked like I did, I think with the last shard, I may need to drop and return. When you die, of course, part of what the game does is health. Part of what the game does, if you die, is it resets the mobs. All the mobs are respawned. As a result, dying you basically have to fight your way back to it, which is one reason I place the portal as close to the shard as I can, because the shards are, of course, protected typically from some higher level beasties. Notice they're level 10. Most of what I've been fighting until now have been level 7 and 8, so these are a couple levels higher. With luck, they'll drop us some emerald chips, however, because that is the only thing remaining that I need to tend to. There's one there. A total of 6 more is what we need, so now we need 5 more. Getting pretty close. Otherwise, I may have to do a little side hunting before I can actually do the level up, because that is, of course, our final objective for this episode. Okay. See if I can split these guys. Actually, I better let my health gain up. So I'm going to fade and clear, and then I'll come back and we're whacking it with a hammer. I think might be the smart thing to do. Or I'll fast forward. We'll see. This usually takes a couple of minutes to heal up. Even eating food is a semi-gradual process, because I am still using the last of the tier 2, I'll call it, because it's for the shard 2, for last level's food. And as you can see, down here in 5, I've only got, I think, like 5 left. So when those are done, then we will start with the chocolates or apple pies. I forget which one was the health now, but there's one of each. Oh boy. Run, Red, run! This isn't gonna go so well. I can tell that already. Yep, I'm all done. Well, so I'll clear it and return. There you have it. See, this happens. This truly does happen in the game. Now we lose. Oh, we lost our shovel. What the heck? That's kind of a nuisance. Bunch of traps, too. Of course, I didn't have much in my inventory, so that's why. I would have rather have lost one of those, but so be it. I'll make the shovel. C'est la vie. So, here we are at the shard. As they say it, third time's a charm, because I did actually fail a second time as well in between. But as you can see on the map, there's no more bad guys in the area, so I'll get my pick out and pound it down. In the process as well, I believe I received enough emerald chips, so I should now be able to level up as soon as this is done. There we go, quest complete. Get one more piece for Shard Nature, which is interesting because I haven't actually picked it up yet, but that's okay. A bunch more chips. There's another emerald chip actually too, so stone, amethyst chip, I know some of these are for the amulets, as you may recall from earlier, and the shard. So now all we have to do is run back to town. Actually, all we have to do is head the correct direction to run back to town to get the rest of the emeralds, and we shall level up. And now, here we are back in town. Other emerald chips I have in the box with my other chips and stuff. 10 plus the 7 we had, 17. And to level up, we need 10 honey. We needed 15 was where I was going to lead off with that, but I forgot about the honey, but that we have going, as you recall from earlier. 5 from this apiary and 5 from that one gives us 10. And now, when I go to level up, we can hit the get level button, and off we go. Boom, done. So now we have a bunch of new quests to take a look at and do. Make a magic chest, plant pot, get one more piece of nature and level. So I guess the plant pot and the magic chest are the 2 new items. I'll investigate those a little bit between now and then for the next episode. We'll see how the timing works on this one. I may split the next one. This one I did all as one, as you obviously know, but it may be longer. As I'm saying this, I've got about 2.5 hours of video to edit through, which I will do to refine down. That's not always uncommon, but if it ends up being too long, then I will split the next level for level 10. Level 10? Right, because that was 9? Yeah, for level 10. So, I don't know. We'll figure that out. Put the rest of these goodies away and like that. The town is getting kind of overflowed, and there have been too many beasties wandering about. They're bad guys, but I'm okay. It's the world that's all wrong. It's just a matter of perspective. Thank you all very much for watching, and take care.